Okay, so week of starting May 5th to May 9th. Bit of a slow week for me, to be honest. I took one win, one loss, 0.5% for the week. This is the trades. Yeah, just a slow week, but we're green, so that's a main point. So that's the only two trades I took. Let's move to the charts and I'll show you what it looks like. So, if it would load, there we go. So here we have it. This is what the hourly chart looked like for the week. Basically starting here to here, around about that. Let's jump on to Monday. Let's see here, Monday. There we go. Yeah. So Monday was interesting. Okay, so came in, saw this just after market open. We came down, soup this, came up. So manipulation either way here, to be honest. Now higher time frame was looking bearish, but short term bullish, to be honest. So you know, overall bearish, short term bullish. Come up, take something up here. Was kind of like what I wanted to see. I wanted to see one of these highs get taken out, preferably this one. Um, but we did see this. Okay, so we came up, boom, turtle soup, SMT, and we tapped into this 1 minute here. I don't know if it was also 5 minute. I can't remember. I think it might have been. We tapped into that, and then we get a short position. I did not take this only because this candle right here, I just didn't like the way it closed. If this had closed a bit more bearish, just shown that it wanted to go down more, then I would have took it. I want more confirmation. This candle is good confirmation, but it's just too far away. By the time it comes down here, we're inside of this BISI, which inversed over here. So, that's a dangerous game to play. Okay, so if you were to get in this, Charles Whip SMT, respect to the SIBI, you enter and you target 30 points. There you go. It's still a good trade. You get out when the SMT hits. Okay, you can even aim for the low, right? Keep your eye on ES. If you see an SMT, just mark it execute and you'll get out somewhere around there. All right, so that is not the one I took, but it is a good trade nonetheless that I did see. Now, this is what I took. So we came up, we took both them highs. Okay, that's what I want to see. I want to see this high get taken out. All right, so we took it out, we swept it. So especially after I see a liquidity sweep, I want to see like actual confirmation. It's not like a turtle soup where I can just enter almost straight away. I want to see confirmation that we actually want to go down, or is it going to continue up? So we did see that confirmation. It was just a bit of a big one. So we had this big inverse all the way down. This wick rebalanced into it. After this wick rebalanced and it started pushing back down, that's when I entered. Okay, so originally I have my stops like up here, very wide stop, but I always tighten them up when I see displacement. So as soon as I seen displacement down, tightened it up right away. But this kind of was a rebalance anyway. We shouldn't really have gone higher, but I just left it just in case, just in case we wanted to dilly dally in here before going down. Now, basically for me, what I like to look for is about 30 to 50 points on low probable days like Mondays, Fridays, no news days, all that. I like 30 points. On high probable days, I like 50 points. But yeah, so this is a Monday. So 30 points was the main goal here, and that's what we got. So we came down, boom, big displacing candle down into this BISI. Now, originally I was possibly looking at this, but I reminded myself it is a Monday. We just tapped into this BISI, and I closed somewhere around like here on this candle. I just closed, market executed around there, and that was the trade for Monday for me. So that's what I saw. It did continue to go to that low. It just fiddled about a wee bit. But this is my point here. So it's a Monday. It's improbable, right? If you enter that and take the 30 points, you're now up 30 points, okay? If you enter this and you're up 30 points and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna set BE, so the worst that can happen is I lose. I just make no money. So you would make no money there, and that's it, right? And that's it. Or you just make 30 points. Or you can have a super wide stop loss, like up here, or even covering the entire high. It's just crazy. And aim for that low, you would have got it, but like the RR is like, one to 1.3. So it's like, just do this and just take the 30 points. It's a Monday. Why do you need to reach so much? That's perfect. So that's what I saw on Monday. That's what I took. Tuesday. Let's go to Tuesday. That is where I took my loss. Oh, have we skipped it? I don't know. I'm tripping. I don't know what I was reading. I actually don't know what I was reading. Anyway, Tuesday. Yeah. So we came down. I was looking to see. There's a low over here. I was looking to see it get taken, if it would load. Yeah. So I was looking to see it get taken and see what we're going to do off it, if we're going to continue down or react and come up. Okay, so that was my whole idea coming into the day. So that was literally my whole plan. Today, or Tuesday, should have been actually really good, but ended up not being so good. Now, what happened was we souped that low literally by like a point or so. We also made SMT, so ES did not take that low. NQ did take the low, okay? And it is the same on MNQ as it is on NQ. So I saw that, we pushed up, and I entered. Now, I made a big mistake in this one, to be honest. We had this SIBI here in line with this low that got taken out before, okay? Creating a PXL. Now, the price just came up and just reacted fully off this. Boom, just went straight to SL. So I was kind of thinking, I only realized it when I got into the trade, but I just saw this. I was like, boom, I'm getting in. That looks great to me. And yeah. So basically, I should have waited longer for more confirmation. It should have pushed through here, closed above this, and then rebalanced or whatever. So that would have been good. But this right here is actually what I should have been taking. But my rule is one trade a day, so that's what I do. So it's a bit of a pity, but we also seen this get total slipped after this. So this is internal manipulation. After I got taken out here for like 15 points. It took me out for like 15 points, wherever that is. Came down, souped this low, pushed up, big displacement candle. We had an inverse here. And this is kind of probably the reason why this didn't work out. I was being a bit pushy on it. There was no inverse, nothing like that. You can maybe count this little thing here. I don't even know if that counts, to be honest. It's like the tiny, it barely counts, right? We didn't have anything, okay? But this right here, this is a strong inverse, and we pushed up, we closed above this high. We were still in this gap here, though, so we're still in this one. But we did close above it after that second candle. So you could enter basically anywhere around here, okay? Bit of a big SL, at least cover the gap, give or take a few points. That's the gap, give or take a few points just for wicks. And you can target them highs. It's a Tuesday, so it's a high probable day, so you can target a good bit more. I probably would have just aimed for somewhere in this SIBI for like 50 points. That was my whole plan with this trade anyway. I wanted to see it hit the SIBI, but obviously we didn't. Obviously this trade ran, crazy high. It went all the way up here to that high. But I normally don't leave them that long anyway. But that was the best trade for Tuesday. Tuesday was actually a good day. It just did double manipulation and it caught me off guard. It was just a bit of a quick entry on my part, but nonetheless, it was a small loss and it is what it is in the end of the day. So that's all the trades for the week for me, but I'll take a wee look at Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and just show you kind of what I seen. I've got them all laid out here, like trades I would have taken. So not too bad on Wednesday, to be honest. We came down. We were inside this massive news thing that happened at 6 o'clock EST. I can't remember what it was. Probably some Trump thing. Usual right now. But anyway, so we're inside that. And then this is all internal. So we had internal turtle soup, internal SMT. We pushed up. We inversed this. And then we pull back into that inverse. Close above the high as well. For me, I was just, especially after the loss on Tuesday, I was playing it safe with this. So we came up, we inversed all of this, but then we tapped into this. Okay, we tapped into this, and then we started pushing down. So I was just waiting it out a bit more, and by the time I was waiting it out, it was like up here, and I just don't really like getting in up here, so far away, you know. Now, it is a good trade though, nonetheless, because if you enter somewhere around here, right, you've got this manipulation down at the bottom, okay? So you got it down here, turtle soup, SMT, push up, inverse, it pulls back into it to continue higher. You've also got the VWAP above, and price does like to attract to it. I only use the VWAP a wee bit, just to basically help with trades like this, but yeah, so that's another sort of confirmation towards it going higher. You know, we want to see this high get taken, and we want to see it get closer to that VWAP, so right there is nice. Or you can target the VWAP if you want 50 points, but that high is probably going to get hit most times. But just a bit of a sideways day. Like look at the way it played out here. You know, that's like what 15 minutes of just sideways, and then the last candle did it. The last candle did it. You know what I mean? It's just I just don't like being in that, to be honest. If I entered this though, I would have my stops below here at the start. As soon as this displaces, I would cover that wick. We should be good to go then. I always do this at the start. I like to give it a bit of wiggle room. Um, just because you need it sometimes, alright. And then cover the wick and let it roll. So Wednesday, not bad to be honest. That is a good trade if you take that. That is a good trade to be fair. I just didn't. I was being a bit cautious after that loss because it was a silly loss. My my strategy isn't like completely mechanical. It's actually probably more discretionary. So I need to see what everything is doing and see what's happening as the trade presents itself. And I just rushed into it too much on Tuesday. So that was my main problem there. But if we go to Thursday, it should be marked out. Um, yeah. So if you can't already tell, I only trade AM session, by the way. So after market open AM session. But so Tuesday, we're coming in. We're bearish. We'll have this down here. I think this was a 1 hour or a 15. So kind of aiming for it. You know, after we pushed up so much here. Aiming for a rebalance. We also have this high here that we're kind of rebalancing with for a bit of PXL. It's kind of the idea for this. So I was looking for shorts today, or at this point in time anyway. So I wanted to see some of those get taken out. We'll have this here with this taken out, and then with this here, and we want to get down to this unfilled. So that was kind of the whole idea. Now, let me see. This is pretty good. The only reason I didn't take it is because we didn't tap into anything. I like the confirmation of tapping into something as we do the manipulation and then pushing away from it and then entering. Okay. So that was why I didn't enter so soon. As I seen it inverse this, I would got very interested about it. And I wanted to see what it would do in this area right here. Okay. Now, if you just look at these candles, we got this close, that close, and then this third one closed to actually make the full inverse. So at the time of me actually wanting to enter, it was like down here, right? And I'm not going to lie, I would be targeting that low, and I'd have to have my stop like up here. For me, that's just not what I like to take. So I waited out on this. If this candle right here closed fully inverse and we pulled back in, wicked into that, I would have got in there, targeted the low for 36, covered something about that there for 1 to 2. Okay. So it was a decent trade. I would have got in here after this inverse. This is the best entry, but it just wasn't as confirmed. If say there was a SIBI here, say this was a SIBI, we tapped into it, we respected it, and we swept liquidity, pushed down, inverse this little wick. I entered, covered that wick of the candle that inversed, and then held it all the way down to that low there. That's the best trade of that day. But it's not the one I took, okay? So it's just not what I saw. I was just waiting to see what would happen here, but it just didn't give me what I wanted, and that is what it is. So that was Thursday. We'll go look at Friday. Thursday also had I think Trump was speaking on Thursday, so I was also kind of weary about that. I'm pretty sure it was Thursday. It was 10 a.m. I think. So it was just before this trade. So you know what I mean. And it goes on from 10 a.m. It was like a 45-minute um, live stream, I think. So that also played a part in me not taking that trade. So if we go and look at Friday, if we go to Friday, see what we're saying here. Okay, so yes, yes. So there was this decent um long here. I did see this a wee bit at the start. So we came down. This is a 5 minute from memory. We came down, we turtle soup this, tapped into the 5 minute, and then pushed up. I was thinking about entering this, and then I got reminded a bit of Tuesday, to be honest, because it does look very similar. Aiming for this or aiming for this high. It's an improbable day, Friday, so I tend to aim for like just 30 points or around that. I was looking at this, but the reason I didn't take this is because to the left there's nothing to inverse. There's nothing to confirm. We'd have to come way up here to confirm it. So I just waited it out. I wanted to see some more candles build to just show it wanted to go up. But even if I did get in this, say I got in it here, right? See these wicks? We've got wick, 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 wick. See all them wicks? That would just turn me off straight away. I get to here, I just close it. Because I know what happens. All my back testing, all my data shows me when we get wicks like this, like 4 in a row like this, and we're sitting around our entry point, it's just not gonna work out very good. Like it's like a 30% chance it's gonna go your way. So you may as well just get out of break even and be done for the day. So I didn't take this, but it was definitely a thought to take. Okay. We got the better trade down here though. So we came down, we swept this, we had an SMT here, we pushed up, there's a little inverse here, little tiny inverse, like right here. So we inversed there, pushed up, closed there, and then you could have got in anywhere around here. You could even got in after that. Inverse closure, after that, somewhere anywhere there. You would cover that, and then you would aim for this SIBI here for 30 points. Okay, so pretty good RR on that as well, unless you wanted to cover the wick, which is also still decent RR, but yeah. So that is what I saw from Friday as well. So there's basically, there was some decent trades the days this week. It's just been a bit iffy with the Trump talks and like double manipulation. Like this had like what, 1, 2, 3 manipulation to go higher. You know what I mean? Like it's just, what's the chance that this here is just going to come and manipulate it again for a fourth manipulation? You know what I mean? So I guess the extra thing was you're trading away from the VWAP and we're pretty close to it, so I guess that helps. But yeah, that's what I saw for this week. Green week for me, but just a slow week. 0.5 up for the week. 1 win, 1 loss, and that is it. So yeah, hopefully next week's a bit more interesting. And yeah, hope you enjoy.